So that's my number 5. Do you want? Let's get to number 4. Do you want me to do it, or you want to go first again?
Let's go back and forth.
Okay, go for it.
My number 4 is Batman Beyond.
I don't know. Go ahead. Tell me why.
All right. So I like this show a lot. One, because it was like futuristic, and I was like a huge sci-fi, well, just a huge nerd in general back then. So I definitely like that setting more than Batman the Animated Series. And I like that you had the Batman Animated Series stuff, like Bruce Wayne was still there. Mm-hmm. Was it the same animators? Because it looked almost exactly the same.
Yeah, I believe it was. Yeah, it's WB Animation Studio, but it had the same look. I mean, they had like, it's that sharp lines and, the eyes coming out of the darkness, like, yeah, it had a Batman Animated Series feel. I like how it wasn't just a rich billionaire guy. It was just, a kid. Funded by a rich billionaire guy.
Funded by the rich billionaire guy. But yeah, I love that show. That show is excellent. I think it was like the only thing on UPN or
See,
WB,
I didn't watch enough of that. I know there's a huge love for it. It's weird that the only really exposure that I've had to, I picked it up here and there when I was a kid, but I watched a animated movie called Batman Beyond Return of Joker, which is, again, all their animated movies are fantastic. And it was really good. It did a good job of kind of introducing the character. And he reminded me a lot of not Peter Parker. He was more like popular in school. He wasn't like the nerdy kid.
Yeah.
I think his name's McGinnis or Terry McGinnis.
Something like that. I don't recall.
But I wasn't a big fan of I was like, Batman's Batman. What are you doing? Get out of the soup, bro. What are we talking about? It's copyright infringement.
I just like the futuristic aesthetic. Red was my favorite. It is my favorite color, so I like that too. And it just again, it was continuing that story that everyone knows, all the old Batman stuff, but it's more just like a new.
I'm surprised they haven't really dug down into that. Even in
do more stuff with that character.
Yeah, do more stuff, or even do like a video game. Like the Batman Arkham Knight games, or the Arkham City and Arkham Asylum games. They should. I know they have skins where he looks like Batman Beyond, but they should do a Batman Beyond. I don't see why you couldn't take mechanics of like the great Spider-Man video games where you have swinging around because he has the jet rockets, right? So he can
little boots, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know why. It seems weird that they haven't really explored.
It's more of a timeline thing too. It's like everyone knows that character is how many years in the future, where Batman is super old. If they did a new one, that would be cool.
That'd be cool. You have you have to go save Batman.
Yeah.
Go get him with some Mucilex or something.
Home, yeah. Anyway, David, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is Thundercats. Oh! Okay, I loved. If we were going to talk about the cartoon that I owned all of the toys and would scream this out at the top of my lungs at Toys R Us was Thundercats.
Really?
Loved Thundercats. Lion-O, Chitara. It was a great Snarf. Nobody likes Snarf. I like Snarf. But it was a great show. I recently got all of the seasons on DVD and I started watching them. That show does not hold up. Oh. It's really, really bad. And I might be offending some people, but the animation's okay. It's all right. The bad guys it's
who's the bad guy in that? The main
God, now you're gonna put me on it. Skeletor? No. Yeah.
It's He-Man, Masters of the Universe.
Oh God, what's his name? Mumbra.
Okay.
Mumbra. Anyways, he's so it's an excellent kids show, but going back and watching, and this is what's interesting about a lot of these where it's like superheroes and stuff like that. There's no I guess it's just we've grown up with more violence in cartoons. They're not they have these giant swords and then they hit them with the back of the sword. Or
well, I heard something about that was a thing in He-Man too, where they don't really use the weapons because you can't show that on TV.
Yeah, you can't cut off someone's limbs in a cartoon, right? But I do remember as a kid, and we'll talk about this in another one later. They had a traveling live show. People dressed up in the Thundercats, and I remember as a kid,
Thundercats on Ice or something.
Yeah, kind of like that, on the On Ice shows. And I remember as a kid, seeing it in some magazine, one of those kids magazines, like a Nickelodeon magazine or something. Tell your mom to order you. I used to love those cartoons, by the way, just blatantly making kids scream.
Record.
Yeah, exactly. But I remember seeing a photo, and I was like, they're real. When you're a kid, you're like, yeah, that's Lion-O. Mom, we have to go to this traveling. She's like, it's 4 or 5 hours away. I don't care. But yeah, Thundercats.
Did you go?
No, we didn't end up going. But yeah, I went back and I saw the photo. I looked online. I'll post a photo here in the video. Don't worry. It's amazing. Now they talked to, they had a reboot of this show in about, I think it was 2011, I think is when it came out. Oh. Yeah. And it kind of looked like, anime. And not strictly anime, but it had that feel to it. But it looked great. I just think, we talk about this, that time period is not, it's hard. I don't know if it's the right time for a Thundercats like live action reboot. Now, I know they've been talking about making like a CGI or animated movie. I would love it. They talked about, I know James McAvoy's like a huge Thundercats guy, Professor X, speaking of X-Men. And he's like, we should do it. We should, like, I'll help be the producer, but one condition, Snarf cannot be in it.
Seriously?
Yeah.
He's like Jar Jar Binks of that universe. Like, no one...
Well, he's like the comic relief, but he's kind of like, nobody likes Snarf.
Well, he's got to change his character a little bit where he's just not self-hating all the time.
Yeah. Oh, another thing I read about Thundercats is apparently people started naming their daughters Shitara. In 1984, when the show came out, right before nobody was named under the U.S. like Social Security Administration. By 1987, 29 kids were named Shitara.
I can't wait to see those kind of numbers where it's like how many parents name their daughter Cortana or that kind of stuff. You know, our generation kind of stuff.
Should be interesting. All right, so that's my number 4. All right. Your number 3. Let's do number 3.
My number 3 is